This is Jet. I'm a little exhausted, but something came across my I was just streaming, looking up one of the old True Light tapes, and something came up with Umma York. She went live 4 days ago. Well, now it's 5 days ago, and she got on line with that man, that chisel face nigga that calls himself Taharka Bay. He has a channel, and every so often, it's not just him. There are other men too that their job is to keep people from the truth. The devil has his workers, and you may look at a person and say to yourself that they don't work for the devil. And by the way, my screen is blank for a reason. Okay, I'm in my pajamas. I'm at home. Rahubat Nafir Ba Anaktat Re'e Amuntat Rahubat Zamutatni. So thank you for coming on, because we probably gonna need a few moderators after what I gotta say. So like I said, I'm not gonna go live for a while. Oh, let me say this too before I forget. Everybody that gets their candle, we're going to light our candles on the 30th. It's going to be at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. As long as it's at 9, it doesn't matter if it's 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. That is one of our powerful numbers. And those of you who don't know, when we do chant at 9, 3, and 9, the reason why it's those specific times is because the master teacher said that there are vortex that opens and beings come and they go during that time. So if you're not chanting and talking to your family and telling them what you need and letting your ancestors know what's going on with you, how are they going to help? You have to call on them. I can't stress that. Okay, so now let me get back to this pissy Umma York. Okay, she's getting on my last nerve. She's a freaking bug that needs to be swatted. All right, she has the audacity to go. You see, this is the thing. She goes back and forth. Because, see, and the thing is this, Umma York, because I know you're going to listen, and if you're not listening, this should be passed on to you. Why don't you tell your man to get his money up, okay? Because that's the problem. You're complaining about everybody else, saying that everybody else want money. It's all about money. It's all about money. But you've been plotting to get that building 717 in your name for the longest. You, your brother, and your sister Leah. All right, because your mom is the one that put y'all up to it. See, what you don't know is your mother used to stay with me when her own daughter put her in the street. Y'all don't have respect for your mother. Y'all don't have respect for your father, okay? And whatever you got going on or whatever happened to you, listen, everybody got a story to tell. Nobody that's walking this planet can say that their life was so freaking good. No child can say that everything was so good with the way that they grew up. I don't care how much money they had. I don't care who their parents were. You understand? Nothing's gonna ever be right with children and their parents. They're always gonna have something to complain about. And your mother messed up when she took her children and left the Ansarullah community and moved in with Jacob York's mother. And y'all were all living together. So she removed her children from the protection that she had. Okay? And whatever happened, your father was incarcerated. So whatever happened, that's your mother is to blame. Okay? You're going on this man's show with your stupid self talking nonsense about your father sitting up here saying that there were children in the community 12 years old having babies. That's a freaking lie. Make up your mind, all right? Whose side you want to be on. And if you don't want to be on our side, then move on with your life. Because I set it up for you to go and visit your father. He did not want to talk to you. The people, I put you on the phone with me. The people got on the phone with you in Washington. You spoke to the lady in the regional office, and she got your information and called you. I opened that door for you, and your father closed it. He doesn't want to talk to you. Speak the truth, all right? You went over there, you and your brother, listen to your crazy, deranged mother, because she's losing her mind. Because her father's, her grandfather, her father, your grandfather's a Celtic. So y'all got them flickering genes, all right? Your mother told y'all because she gave birth to you in that building. So this is what she said, the story she told y'all, and that it rightfully belongs to you because that's your father's building, and that's y'all the heir to the thrones. Y'all are royalty. And you and your brother and your sister moved in there. And matter of fact, Sakina was the one that brought y'all in there. After your father kicked her out. He kicked her out the building. He put the brother Mintu Hotep over the building. And she brought her whole gay entourage up in there. And that's how you got in the building. Sakina put y'all in there to harass that brother. And when he was teaching Nawapu, y'all was causing havoc and causing problems for him and the Nawapians, okay? You went in every floor in that building. You took the radiators out because you and your brother was trying to look up to see what can be done to have y'all kicked out. And you were squatting in the building. It doesn't belong to you, okay? That building belongs to the Nawapians. Your father can do whatever he wants to do. And we are his followers. If you don't like it, too bad. Piss off. Because one minute you act like you with us, then the next minute you act like you against us. You don't know what, you're playing this game and you're only going to hurt yourself because somebody like me is going to put you on Front Street and embarrass you. All right? Now, you got put out the building. They put you out because you turned the second floor into a Dalmatrix building. A Dalmatrix business. And you had Caucasian men coming in there to have sex acts done to them. Or whatever it is that you do. Tell your man to get his money up and stop running around here harassing us, lying when things don't go your way. Talking about 12-year-old girls was getting pregnant and being molested and all this. And then you talking to the brother that calls himself King Simon. That's the brother Abdul who used to work in a pizza shop. I know him very well. And Light Buzz Light didn't give him a chance to speak, kept interrupting him. Saying we got Umma York. First of all, if you listen to Haraka Bay, get the story right. You got her side, you got the other side, and then you have the truth. Get the truth and the facts, all right, before you start slandering Dr. York's name. I already told you to shut up, all right, because men like you, y'all are nothing but a bunch of internet bitches. You get online and you talk crap and you go in the room, and ever since the internet's been a big thing, you got a whole lot to say. But when somebody run up on you and punch you in your freaking chiseled nose, then we going to see it's going to be a problem because y'all got all this mouth on the internet, all right? Stop using Dr. York's daughter to attack him because you're doing the work of the devil. You do not know Dr. York. You never read his books. You never met him. You never been on the land. He's a highly intelligent man that speaks 19 different languages. He breaks everything down. Instead of you running your mouth on the internet, to Haraka Bay, why don't you set up an international, why don't you do something for your people? What are you doing? You and that other nigga, Sonetta, what are y'all doing for your people? Did y'all get land? If you don't have property, if you don't have land, if you don't have your own school, if you don't have your own language, if you don't have your own diet, if you don't have your own dress code, you are nothing but a nigga, okay? Misleading people. Dr. York got his followers' faces in books. We speak other languages to each other. He's a very powerful man, and you sitting up here dragging that ragum pissy Umma York and her crazy self on your channel, slandering the brother. I'm talking about the brother to Haraka Bay. I want y'all to listen to this garbage that Umma York said. She's always crying and talking about she's a victim. How long ago did that shooting happen in that bookstore? Y'all were all fighting over the building. Tell the truth. That's what that whole thing was about. While we were trying to build and teach and learn the new information that was coming to us, y'all was trying to cause problems to make us leave. so y'all could take over the building because it's a brownstone worth $8 million.
Anything were being shot at. Y'all did not care. Even
Listen to this. Listen to this nonsense.
Families begging. What? I was a troubled child and all of this. First of all, anybody that's experienced the stuff that I've experienced, when your family's begging you to drop charges because of them trying to highlight somebody because they want more money, all of y'all people looked at this whole situation as a way for y'all to make money, and that's it. Y'all didn't.
She's full of it. All right. Now let me read something to y'all. You heard her? She's always complaining about people trying to make money. It's always about the money. Listen, first of all, you're not a part of this tribe. Your father can handle the members of this tribe that steal and lie and play games. Most of them are gone. And in a minute, they're all going to be gone. I got something that I want to read to y'all. This is coming from her. Back in February 13th, what year was that? 2000 and... What year was this? Hold on, let me see what year it was. 1 minute, y'all. All right, it was 2013. It was February the 13th, 2013. This is what she says. Mabry, York. According to the FBI, Leah Mabry is her sister, is lying on our father. She has not gone to see or speak with him in months. So all of this is not me fight my father, but of a sister filled with hate and blaming her evil on our father. See how she switches up? Don't believe me, do your research. So another brother named Jalil Williamson, he says, FBI, how did you access that info from them? And if they said that could we actually listen to them, knowing they would love to see further distraction, fighting in the nation? Just a question on hashtag with all due respect to you. Then she says, call them direct to ask my sister been seeing my father. See, what happened was Leah and her sister Hajar were allowed to go up to visit Baba. And Umma York wanted to go visit him, and he never visited her. And he never wrote her. He never visited her. So she was, because of what she was doing, like I said, she had a business going on, and she was causing drama and problems for the Nawapians. And the thing is this, if you don't want to be around us, then move on, move on. You understand? She's trying to take over the building because her mother put that in her head. You understand? And so what happens is some of Dr. York's children, instead of their women, the women standing up and speaking their mind, they use their children against him. And trust me, they're only doing it because he's incarcerated. So then she says, I called them direct to ask my sister been seeing my father. Now, first of all, you can't call the FBI to see if they're going to visit Dr. York. You have to call the prison. He's in prison, in a federal prison. And if you're not on a visitation list, you can't get up there. And as I said to you all before, I tried to get her up there. Baba did not want to see her. The SIS people, which is a special investigation services in the prison, called her and said, are you his daughter? She said, yeah, I could take a DNA test, blah, blah, blah. So how it works in a federal prison is you just can't walk up to go visit someone. You have to be put on a visitation list, and then the inmate has to approve the visitation. So when they went to him to fill out the paperwork, he said, I don't want to see her. That's what he said. So she got mad, and now all of a sudden, and then when I was trying to get help from the family, which I did get help from the family, thank you all who helped me, to take care of some business for the master teacher, she got with the young elder, and she was on her channel, and she put out a flyer with her on the flyer saying, my father, with a picture of her father coming out of prison as a prisoner of Sheriff Seals, and she had a picture of her up there on the flyer saying that she's doing something to help him get out because they got scared. They get afraid Whenever I go live and I say I need help or I say I'm working on something, they get afraid because they know that a lot of stuff that I do manifests, like the visitations that they got now. I made that happen. The letters that they got now, the section of the prison that the master teacher's in now, I made all of that happen. And so sometimes they say to themselves, what is she doing? How is she getting all of that done? And the thing is, I'm a former federal inmate, so I know how the system works. Okay? That's the side, that's the plus side that I have than other than, and then because of the fact that I love and I care about him and it's coming from a real place, things manifest. You understand? And I call on my ancestors and ask for help. And with the help of some of you, things have been able to happen and I could have gotten more done, but it was just too many people fighting one person. You understand? So now back to Umma York. So then she says, all right, so then that's one thing. Then she says this. This is how the conversation, I just want y'all to hear what she was saying back in February 2013. Then she said, court was fun for me with no one to go against. If you're so right, why were y'all not in court? Property granted with a federal court order. Good thing the law was on my side. That was all a lie that she said. See, like I said, she's trying to get the building. This all is ranting back and forth, being angry, saying everybody's all about money and my father, this and my, it's all because she wants the building. That's all it's about. So then someone says to her after she says that, someone says, Jalil Williamson says, wow. And then some Elijah Johnson says, which is Baba's son, he says, who was you going against? And then she says, she says, Umma York says, Sakina, Patricia Lewis, YFP, and Aunt Waki. And then Elijah Johnson says, laughing my ass off. Oh, wow. Then she says, word, no show because they know they were in the wrong. So then Elijah says, word, it's about time his real seed get a piece of that pie. Congrats on that one, he says to her, right? Because that's her brother. So then she says, hold on. Is that the same one that was sent to me again? Okay. So then she says, then somebody named Ken Ahabu, Hetep Ray, there shouldn't have been a dispute. Pop sacrificed a lot for us, and the family deserves what comes from it. Let's move on. We got work to do. Then Miss Kogi L says, what property was in dispute? Miss Kogi, Miss Kogi L, Mabry York. Then she says 717 Bushwick Avenue. Then Abnafir Ankington says, all right. And then Muskogee L says, okay. I haven't been there in a minute. And then Abnafir Ankin Aten, family, period. He says family, period, like that. So then the next one says, somebody named Siku Atem Ray, to all, I'm posting this in response to Umma Mabry York, talking about Care, retaliating against her father. I'm posting this for all to see. Please forward and share. Umma Mabry York has posted a letter on her Facebook that was stolen from Sakina mailbox, which is a felony, and telling people that it is her letter. The question should be, where is the envelope so you can see the date and who it is addressed to? Also, Pops cannot receive letters but from 15 people that is on his list. Ask yourself this if, it says ask yourself this, if this, hold on. It says ask yourself this, if she is on his side, why is she continually calling 80 AdMax, that's the prison, and getting him in trouble? She is the reason why everybody is not able to write him. She has done nothing to help free him. She talks against Nawapo and everything that her father has taught over the years. This is a mental war as well as a physical war. Everything you do in the dark will eventually come to light. Know who and what you are. Know the facts and truth. Do not let disagreeable change what you know to be a fact. As Pops always said, don't believe me, check it out. Then it says Leah York. Oh, so that was Leah York who said that. Okay. So that was her sister who said that. Maybe York. I got the letter from my brother, is what she says. And then she said the pics of the letter. And then maybe York says, F you people. That is all you people can do when a person tell the truth. Then somebody named Calvin Lockhart says, doesn't that amaze you? How they continually twist and F up the truth and progress for themselves. Your father, before being taken, really started getting tired of dealing with Negroes and their constant production of endless F-ups. Okay, so this is what, I just wanted to read that to y'all so y'all can hear what was going on and why she's really angry and why she's going on that man's live slandering her father. So the reason why I came live today is because I'm sick of her. Listen to her.
That was being tortured or harassed or anything or being shot at. Y'all did not care. Even up until this day, you don't care. You look at this as a platform for you to probably rebuild yourself at this point. And that's really how I look at it. I didn't even want to come up here until I started hearing this stuff coming out of your mouth. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come up here and defend myself. Because y'all not going to keep attacking me and feel like y'all going to attack me on the side end. Now, my family, in regards to my family protected Polite. Why my family protected Polite was because
That's a
they
lie.
had their hands in on everything. They were robbing my...
Listen, there are people, see, the thing is this, she doesn't know what's going on because she's not in with us. She's an outsider. So if Polite wrote Dr. Melakazi York and he wrote Polite back and gave him instructions, you understand? She doesn't know anything about that. The only thing they were thinking about is taking over the building. Okay?
Father blind. These people were literally committing fraud, okay? These people were committing fraud on the building that my father left for me. Yes, that's how it was, and that's why.
That's not her building. You see what I'm saying? She's saying that her father left the building for her. So if he left it for you, why didn't he want to see you on a visit? Why you never got a letter? You was going in the mailbox stealing letters, trying to make people think that your father wrote you and he never wrote you. You understand? It's like, get yourself together, man, and stop slandering him. Listen to this.
That building telling people to stop disrespecting you because they knew my platform in the building.
Hello guys, Crispy here. Welcome.
I'm sorry,
back to
y'all.
another
This
video. This one, my friends,
This is a commercial. 1 minute.
we're gonna be testing possibly the smallest PC.
Let me skip it. Hold on.
Let me say, Sister Umma, I want to thank you, sis, for coming on because we had quite a few conversation, and you was like, "I'm not ready. I'm not ready," and I'm like, "I respect it."
Listen, all this dude does, Buzz Light, Taharka Bay with his chiseled looking face, all he ever does when he goes live with Umma York is use her to slander Dr. Melakazi York. I want y'all to listen to how this conversation goes so you can understand why I'm saying something about it. Listen to this.
But as you can see, I don't know if I did exactly what I said I would do when the video leaked. I say, sis, I got to post the video and I got to bring clarification to the video, and I hope that I was able to do that. Simon is a friend of mine through this social media thing. I don't know him of doing any wrong because I wasn't there. You know, and I always seen him do things honorable. I think he deserves a voice. Definitely you deserve a voice because you are the one that
Hold
victimized.
on.
But I would pray.
Okay, she keeps calling him, saying that she was victimized. How long ago did that thing happen in Brooklyn? And she still keep bringing it up. Now, I want y'all to listen to this part. I'm going to fast forward it so you can hear her slander the master teacher. This is why I'm going live today. Hold on.
That I did some justice with the story today because everything about your story screams that you were victimized and no one came to your aid.
They didn't care because it was all about money to them. All they cared about was how much money they could make off the next person that they could make Jesus Christ so they could rip off and scam the black community. That's all they cared about. That's all they cared about. Y'all literally plucked this boy from nowhere. Y'all plucked him from nowhere. Y'all don't know who he was or anything like that. Sakina, you and Sakina literally round up together and y'all helped to push him on the platform. You too.
I don't know Sakina. I don't know Sakina.
You know, the whole community knows Sakina, Patricia Lewis. The whole community knows her.
Hold on, y'all.
Omar was another one that sat there and supported that shit, and he was one of the people that told me to drop the charges against Polite. Why? Because y'all all had a plan to make money, and that was it. And I was a liability because I was in y'all's way, and that's how I see it as an adult now. Trust me, the picture's clear now.
How old were you in 2007? My math's not that good.
Sheesh, I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Hold on, I just want to fast forward to the part where she starts slandering the master teacher and talking about Nawapians, saying that, you know, we condone molesting children, and we condone it's a lot of stuff that went on, and we knew that this was happening, and we didn't do anything, and that she knows some people, they was 12 years old and they were 12-year-olds getting pregnant. I mean, just making stuff up, lying. Okay, listen to this. Hold on, I'm gonna fast forward it.
When you're talking about, Sanella was he wanted to represent that he wasn't there during that time, and I was trying to my best, but now that you're able to do it, I was trying my best to say Sanella was not there in that era, but as the time progressed, he was aware, according to you, and he just turned up a blind eye because he wanted to make money off of the young phenom potential to make money also. And that's what I tried to clarify. But now that you're here, what do you have to add to saying that Sanella also was a part of the advancing of brother?
Wherever you're headed,
I'm sorry, y'all, this commercial keep coming on. I don't pay for hold
He
on.
definitely was a part of the advancing of him. I'm not
Hold
sure
on.
how long he known him. He hasn't known him from the beginning. King Simon was the one that was originally the person that pushed him up on the platform with my uncle and Patricia Lewis Sakina. You know, they were the three people that originally did it. Now, in regards to Sinetta, when he was pushing Polite on the platform, my younger brother, Rudy, came to him plenty of times and said, you need to hear my sister's side of the story, rather y'all keep idolizing and worshiping this man who's ripping off the community. But these people literally swept it under the rug. My mother personally, and even the night, that day that we did that interview, that you had a class with Dr. Savy, me, my mother, and my brother all came to that class to talk to you, but instead you wanted to act like a celebrity that day and act like you didn't know us. You told us we'll talk to, I will talk to y'all, and you never spoke to us. You never spoke to us.
I was busy. I'm busy.
We're supposed to be a spiritual family, no matter what. Y'all have no loyalty. Y'all have no loyalty. There's no loyalty amongst any thieves. That's something I realized in life as I got older. You get what I'm saying? Y'all have no loyalty. That's the reality of it. You know, we really were trying to talk to you about something that was very serious.
Okay.
I wasn't finished. I was not finished. When I'm finished. Like I said, we were trying to speak to you about something that was very important in regards to the shooting, and you literally disregarded us. Now, Ed, you can continue.
If you came to
Okay, hold on, let me I want to forward this because she's
period. All through it.
Hold
now,
on.
y'all could have called me and we would have met somewhere and sat and talked about it, but not at a Dr. Sadie event. It was packed. You was there.
That's the point. If a child is in danger and she fears for her life, the only way I'm gonna talk to y'all is if it's in a packed room full of other evidence, other people to see if anything happened. The reality of it is, if this man, including Polite, was still at the location, you know what I'm saying? If I fear for my life, the only way I'm gonna come around is if I got a whole bunch of people to watch and see what the hell's going on. Because at this point, I don't trust nobody.
Okay, think about it.
I can't even trust my own uncle. I can't trust my own aunt. Couldn't trust my own brother, my own sister. Are you serious? Y'all ignored me. Y'all just ignored me. To me, again, if I would have died that day, y'all wouldn't have cared at all. Y'all wouldn't have cared. And I know
hold on.
And I'm clear on that. I'm very clear.
You died at what day? When that shooting took place?
Yeah, when Polite tried to kill me that day.
Again, in 2007, I know nothing about that.
You know, you knew about it.
I was busy in the reggae world doing my thing and doing promotion. How would I know anything about what's going on in that community? After I left that community at 88, I had nothing really to do with that. Other than your mother making clothes for me. Your mother made clothes for me for my reggae. She knows I'm a reggae artist. I was doing reggae music. So I wasn't from that community, okay? I don't know none of that stuff.
I'm sorry, y'all. I should have just got to the point. Hold on.
Let me hear what Claire had to say. Since she was a child, you didn't get to let me hear what she had to say.
You was 24 when that happened with you and the right? Was it right? Now, and you just said you came to me at a packed place with 500 people with nothing to say. You could come talk to me. When your mother had my number, you can get my number, and we can talk privately without the light and nobody, and then I can find out more. You can call me. It's mama that you like your number, and that's cool. You can like mama all you want. It's my blood.
Hold up, sister. But she was, her life was.
Look what she telling this man. She telling this man that her life was in danger. Somebody tried to kill her and all this other stuff. So somebody tried to kill you. Why didn't you call the cops? She been calling the cops on the tribe, been calling the police for the longest. And it got to the point where The NYPD was like, if you call us again, we're going to lock you up. She kept calling the cops. So now she's saying that Polite tried to kill her. There was a shooting, and he tried to kill her. So why didn't you call the cops? Why didn't you leave out there, go down to the corner, press the emergency button, because every New York City corner, every other corner, they got on the button, and call the cops and get him arrested? You keep complaining and saying you was a victim and people tried to stop you from calling the cops on him and all this other stuff. No, but let me tell you something. If somebody tries to shoot me with a gun or tries to hurt me, you think I'm not going to get the police involved? Yeah, I'm going to call the cops, because if you trying to take my life and you don't care nothing about my life, then I don't care anything about yours. You know, you're going to go in prison where you belong. Why did she do that? This is all game. Hold on.
I don't think that's like a drama. I mean,
I'm talking about her coming to a big event that me and
Let me fast forward this, because she got the brother Abdul saying because he lived in the community back in the days before she was born, he was there. So she got the brother, who I know is Abdul, that used to run the pizza shop in Brooklyn, and he was an Ansar. So, you know, he knew her mother, all of them. You know, we all knew of each other. So she's saying that, you know, he's like an uncle to her, and he should have protected her and all this other stuff, you know? And so hold on a second.
I was busy handling his products. I was handling the door. I was handling everything in it. Everything.
let me ask you this, King Simon. Was you a true spiritual uncle, or was that just a title that was given with no substance? Because if you're a true spiritual uncle,
That's a title she threw out there just last week, just on your interview. We've been friends with her mother for years, and everybody in the community is considered a protector of those people. Remember, she was born in '83. I joined the community in '84.
Listen to this.
Did say that,
Hold on.
yes, I was a spiritual uncle because I noticed that she was a baby.
Because I know I.
All right, I'm sorry. Hold on, another commercial. All right.
So that's what I'm asking. So that's what I'm asking you. Not what she said. I'm asking you. Was that a title with some essence and principle, or was it a title of no substance? Because if it's a title of with essence and principle, it just seems logical that if she shows up at an event with a million people, she deserves the attention because she's been victimized and she wants some answers, whether it's a year later, 2 years later, or 3 years later. You know what I'm saying?
It's a title with substance because every brother in that community can be considered a spiritual uncle. People like Wali could have been a spiritual uncle. People like Suleiman could have been a spiritual uncle. Who they were, because they all seen this girl come into this realm. Now, coming at an event like that, and coming at an event like that without even contacting me first. Okay, can I speak? Can I speak?
Hold on, let us speak. Give him a minute to speak, and then I'm gonna let you speak.
Hold on.
I just came to build it. I don't want to turn this into. No. I just don't want to turn this into a circus. So we're gonna have to respect everybody. Everybody speak one at a time. I'm telling you now. Everybody know that I'm for the person that was victimized, and I think you would agree that she was victimized. However, I'm not going to be biased.
She was victimized.
And lose
Oh my
perspective
gosh, this
and
is so
lose
annoying.
perspective of the role you may have played in this relationship. You know what I'm saying? But the perspective is that if you are her spiritual uncle, and it's a title, a substance, no matter what's going on, I would say that you respond. But that's me, and I get it. You're a businessman. You know what I mean? You got to pay your bills. I get that part too. But so let me let
like I said, at Sadie's lecture, they could have called me before that lecture happened. Could have called me after. We could have set that up. I got no problem setting up meetings and talking. I got no problem to find out what's the truth about what's going on. But I didn't get all it. Like I said, I've been getting bits and pieces all this time up to this day. I'm still getting bits and pieces. Right. What's up?
Now, sister Umma, we got Sinetta in the building. I'm gonna let you flow real quick, and then I'm gonna open it to Sinetta.
Okay, hold on, cuz I'm trying to figure the part.
That would be nice.
The more I look at it, to be honest with you, the whole organization from Ansar Allah, you know.
All right, this is her talking. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this sick, crazy girl. That y'all was, first she said she wanted to help her father get out, and now listen to her. For those of you that was collecting money with her lying back then, saying that she's trying to help do something for her father. Listen to this. Listen.
Down to the New Orleans, everybody got something to hide, whether they were touching on children or grooming children to be touched on or anything like that, you know. And I feel like that's the thing. Y'all wanna tear me down no matter what. But you know what? This story right here, or just me talking about, is gonna pull out a whole bunch of people out the woodwork. So trust and believe you me, King Simon. If you touch somebody, they probably gonna come out of the woodwork too. So.
I never did that, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I never did that in my life. Never
Let
did
me
that in
say,
my life.
somebody says Somebody in the chat says she is still hurting, but she can only blame for like not others. In fact, I've talked to Umma York, and she don't pull no punches. She calls the whole community out. You just heard her for the last 10 minutes. I've talked to her for hours on end, and she don't pull no punches. She haven't even she don't cover for her father. She states what the law said about her father. She does it, but you don't know her. So now
Did you hear what he said? He said she states what the law said about her father. Okay? See, every time things don't go right for your pissy ass, you go on the internet and you lie and you make up stories because you want that building. But see, the thing you need to do is tell your man to get his freaking money up and leave us the hell alone. All right? Leave us alone. And I hope I run into you one day too, because you got a lot of mouth over the internet. All right? You and your freaking brother was living in that building, squatting illegally. And the lights went out because y'all were not paying the bills. All right? Y'all were living in there. Sakina put y'all in there, and y'all started this big entourage, this big fight, this big argument over what? Money. And you're upset now because your life must not be the bed of roses that you think it should be. You know, maybe you should just go beat some more white men and get some more money. You got, judges, all these freaking rich people that could send you cash after your money. Why don't you get your money and get your money up? Tell your husband to get his money up and leave us alone. Stop lying and making stuff up. 1 minute you want to help him, now you're slandering him, saying that we allow children, because I lived in a community. That's a lie what you're saying. You're freaking lying.
those in the comment section that make these comments, you have to get to know her and hear her full story, which I heard a good portion of it, but even she said to me, she's like, that ain't nothing.
It's not.
That's nothing. Let me bring Sinetta in. Sinetta, are you there?
If you have
Hold on, let me rewind this. I can't believe this girl said this. I can't believe she said this, that she went live and she's doing this. You understand? And I just came to clear. I'm just coming to clear so y'all can hear the other side of it, all right? This is the problem with her. They're upset because they want that building. They all been fighting over the building. Sakina, all of them. Most of the people that you see with titles and people that you see that in charge, people that you see trying to come up front and be leaders, write books and all this other stuff, they mean us as a Sabian nation, they mean us no good. With all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world, with all the horrible things that's getting ready to happen in this country, why would you want, you know what I'm saying, that building? Like I said, it's the money. They want the money. And then she'll try to flip it and make it seem like, oh, y'all, all y'all doing is stealing from y'all, my father. Y'all want my father this, my father that. But you sitting up here on another man's platform, calling your father a pedophile, saying that we allowed things like this to happen to children and that, oh, they're going to start coming forth and all this other stuff. So tell them to come forth then. You're lying. You've been saying the same story for the longest and nobody's come forth. All right? It's a fact that Dr. Melakazi York was railroaded, all right? They set him up because he's a powerful man. Even when Sinetta was at the parade, he said it. I got that recorded. He was like, damn, man. He was like, yo, this man is dangerous. He seen all them people at that parade. Let me tell you something. The Wapians, Sabians, Musbat-u shut down that African parade. Shut it down. They was surprised, like, who is this? This is beautiful. They did the dance. They seen the brothers in the black and gold, the sisters colorful, and their butler Nawabis. You understand? And they shut the African parade down. For you to sit up here and talk about a great man like this and sit up here and act like we allowed stuff like this to happen, somebody need to punch you in your face too. If you was my daughter, I would smack your head like the Exorcist.
It removes skin tags quickly.
Sitting up here making up stuff. And you called me, you reached out to me because with the brother in Kenya, because your father, he needed to do something for your father, and you reached out to me. Okay, and you said you and your brother went to Haiti, and y'all asked the people who was doing work for your father, and they said, I'm the only one that's doing something to help him. You said all the rest of them were lying. All right. So it's like you keep playing all these mind games and look, you're going to find yourself in a sad place. Because unlike anybody else, I'm not like them. I will slap the piss out of you. All right. Stop lying and making stuff up on the internet. Y'all running your mouth, making up stuff, lying on an innocent man. You know, cut it out, man. You know, talking about 12-year-old girls was coming out pregnant. Hold on. Let me rewind this a little bit. I want y'all to hear this stupid girl.
Be biased and lose
Listen to this.
perspective and lose perspective of the role you may have played in this relationship. You know what I'm saying? My perspective is that if you are her spiritual uncle, and it's a type of substance, no matter what's going on, I would say that you're responsible. But that's me, and I get it. You're a businessman. You know what I mean? You gotta pay your bills. I get that part too. But so let me let hold on.
Like I said, at Sadie's lecture, they could have called me before that lecture happened. Could have called me after. We could have set that up.
All right.
No problem setting up meetings.
I want y'all to listen to this crazy
No problem
freaking
to
devil.
find out what's the truth about what's going on. Because I didn't get all it. Like I said, I've been getting bits and pieces all this time up to this day. I'm still getting bits and pieces. Still getting bits and pieces.
Right.
What's that?
Now, sister Umma York, we got Satanic in the building. I'm gonna let you.
Now, first of all, Satanic was slandering Dr. York too. And then somebody in New York, somebody in Harlem said that he's HIV positive. And he was trying to fight it and saying that he wasn't, that he had lupus. And they said first they said it was HIV, then they said it was lupus. Then they said it wasn't lupus, it was HIV. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is this, y'all getting sick, y'all got all this stuff going on, and y'all slandering and talking about a great man, okay? You don't know Dr. York, Sonetta. You don't know Dr. York, Taharka Bay. All right, you're listening to a disturbed child of his, okay? Her mother suffered from mental issues, and so does she. She's lying, all right? She's lying.
Real quick, and then I'm gonna open it to Sonetta, and then hopefully we can close out with some closure right here. That would be nice.
Hold on.
The more I look at it, to be honest with you, the whole organization from Ansar Allah, down to the Nubians, everybody got something to hide, whether they were touching on children or grooming children to be touched on or anything like that, and I feel like that's the thing.
Did you hear what she said? That we was grooming children to be touched on? Are you out of your mind? Do you know what you just said out your mouth? I better not never see you. I don't care nothing about you being Baba's daughter. I better not ever see you. I better not ever see you.
No matter what, but
lying.
This story right here, just me talking about, is gonna pull out a whole bunch of people out the woodwork. So trust and believe you me, King Simon. If you touch somebody, they probably gonna come out of the woodwork too. So.
I never did that, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I never did that in my life. Never did that in my life.
Somebody in the chat says she is still hurting, but she can only blame polite, not others. In fact, I've talked to Umma York, and she don't pull no punches. She calls the whole community out. You just heard her for the last.
Now, you just heard him say that she talks to him all the time and she calls the whole community out. But just a few months ago, she was getting with that sister Sakum Tet, the one who does the language, or who I heard studies the language or whatever, who used to be the brother Hoontwee's mate. I mean, she done had so many mates, I don't know who her mate is now. But she's some type of anesthesiologist or whatever, or she's the person that passes the tools during surgery. She was working with other sisters, and they was collecting money to give her money because she said she wanted to help her father get out of prison. You understand? She's full of it, man. She's lying. This is why I tell y'all that, listen, you may not like me. You may not like my delivery. But one thing I'm not going to do is make up a lie about somebody when I tell y'all that I know what I'm talking about, all right? I lived in a house with her moms. Her mother ain't right upstairs. She wasn't always like that, but her mother's kind of like, one flew over the cuckoo nest. Like, I'm being honest. Like, she got mental issues, and so does her daughter. Like, you keep flip-flopping. 1 minute you want your father to come out. Then she said to us, she's the matriarch of the tribe. That's what she told me. And then she said we can ready to meet at Waukees bookstore in Lithonia to have a chanting session, and she doesn't even chant with us.
10 minutes. I've talked to her for hours on end, and she don't pull no punches. She haven't even. She don't cover for her father. She states what the law said about her father. She doesn't. But you don't know her, so now. those in the comment section that make these comments, you have to get to know her and hear her full story, which I heard a good portion of it, but even she said to me, she's like, that ain't nothing.
It's not.
That's nothing. Let me bring Sinetta in. Sinetta, are you there?
All right, now I'm going to let y'all hear the part where she said 12-year-old girls was getting pregnant. That's a lie, too. She's freaking lying, man. Y'all see that girl? Y'all better check her, man. Hold on, listen to this.
Please, you hear me?
Yeah, where you at? I can't see you.
Because I ain't got my camera on right now.
Why not?
Because I don't want to, brother. I'm laying in the bed relaxing, brother.
You know the rules. You have the rules that you put your camera on.
Yeah, but I'm laying in the bed relaxing right now, brother.
I told you earlier though.
Right. But listen, I'm only going to be here for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. That's it. That's what I need. First of all, I want to say, yeah, to the sister, I never met the sister. I don't know who she's talking about. I was nowhere around at that time dealing with Polite. I never knew Polite. Polite was scared to come to 125th Street at that time.
I'm fast forward it.
I've always been doing my own thing. And when the sister said her brother came to me, I don't remember that too. I don't remember that at all. And he came to me and said, "What? I'm too busy out there doing my thing, working, teaching, helping the community on that street with the bullhorn. So I don't know nothing about that." At this time, there was no.
All right, you know what? Y'all want to hear this? Y'all could go to, the title is called Dr. York's daughter, Umma York, checks King Simon and calls him out for covering Brother Polite. Now, first of all, why y'all bringing up old stuff from so long ago? Polite's in prison. Why she keep calling this man wanting to go live and starting stuff? Because she's mad. Because she's trying to get the building. And now whatever she's trying to do, it didn't work out for her. And so now she's upset. Can you name some devils in London or in the tribe so I can not be fooled by them? Some devils in London. Let me see. There's a girl called Nechimu. See, I don't even know the women. I don't know too many brothers. You know, I don't know the brothers. There's a sister named Nechimu. She's a devil. She made some statements one time when we was having a conference call when I was working to try to get Baba writing privileges. She was giving me a hard time. There's another sister named Farasha that works with her. She's another black devil. Yeah, they try. And I'm going to tell you something. You may think that because a person gives you money or because a person helps you, that they're not evil. That is not true. Black devils will give their money, they will help, and they will support because they always have a hidden agenda behind what they do. It's never from the heart. You know what I mean? You'll know when you're dealing with people and it's from the heart. When you're dealing with a black devil, it doesn't take long before their nature begin to manifest. They're very jealous, they're very vindictive, they're very sneaky, they're very spiteful, and they're very evil. It's very negative, and they're very physical. And they can be spiritual too, you know? But that's the only ones I know, black devils that I know in London. You know, Sister Farasha, Baba came to her in dream, told her to get some brothers together to help me. And how I knew she was telling the truth is because she said Yanun came to her, he had on a brown suit. And one day when I was in Georgia, I got on a bus and a man came and sat in front of me, a Riskian. I didn't know though. I thought he was a man trying to flirt with me. And he sat directly in front of me and was staring at me. And I had on a cape, like a fuchsia color, like hoodie cape because it was raining. And I had that, and I had a long floral skirt that was down to my ankle. And the only thing you could see is my toes. And I had my hand inside the cape. And this man got on a bus and sat across from me. And he was staring at me, and I was like, oh, boy. And I took my face and turned it towards the window of the bus, was looking outside. So the man that was staring at me, I don't know, I felt this sadness come over me, as if he knew, like as if he was like, oh, you know, because I was going to a girl's house because I lost my computer when Iris had me arrested and, you know, caused a ruckus for me and had me locked up for nothing, absolutely nothing. And I was going to my friend's house to use her laptop to type out a letter and email the people in the congressional office at the Rayburn building, at the Longworth building at the time. And so when I got off the bus, then Yanun the man got up and sat in my seat. And I said, oh, and in my mind, I was like, this man, he want to sit in the seat because, you know, when you sit there, the heat from your body will warm it up. So when I got up, he got up and sat in my seat. And then he was looking out the window at me when I got off the bus. And then he told me in my mind, it's me, Yanun. I said, oh, sweat. He had on a brown suit. So when Farasha had the dream about Yanun, she called me. She said, yeah, Yanun came to me in a dream, and he had on a brown suit. And she said he asked him, what do you see in my eyes? And she said, I see star constellations. But anyway, so Yanun came to her, told her to get some brothers in London to help me. There was another sister named Juliet Sharp. She was working with me to help too. And they just turned it into something. You know, I don't know. You know, sometimes people, instead of just working together, a lot of people get concerned about titles, and then all of a sudden this ego gets in, and it's just doesn't work out, man, because like Baba says, every time the righteous gather, someone's always there to represent the devil. I don't know, maybe that was her test. Maybe the master teacher was trying to test her, you know, because I really liked that sister. We were very cool, but there were some things that she said, some things that she did to me, and some things that she did with the sister Nechimu. You understand? And I told her when that happened with the sister Nechimu, I said, listen, I want to talk to her. Get her on the phone. She refused to get that girl back on the phone. But I was like, it's okay. One day this is going to be over, and Baba will be home, and I'll be able to point out each and every one of them that disrespected me, disrespected my hard work, and didn't want to work with me. You understand? I'm not a hard person to work with, and I told Baba that. When I was in the feds, I didn't have problems like this with people. I got along with everybody. Every so often, you have to open up a can of whoop ass, you know, because it's prison. You got people from all walks of life, and people will try you, and people will do things, and I'm just, you know, I have a temper, and thank the Most High, I'm working on it, you know. I promised Baba that I would not get into another physical altercation after I had that fight with that sister Paulette. And when I lived in the Ansar Allah community, I never, ever, ever got into a fight with anyone. I never got into a physical altercation with anyone, not even a verbal altercation, because we prayed so much. It was really the tabernacle of the Most High. It really was. You can feel the presence of the Most High there. So, you know, when I hear people, I don't care who it is, whether it's Baba's children, because we in the end of times, everybody ain't going to make it. And some of Baba's children going to get left behind too. That's just how it is. That's the way it is in the world. You understand? And so the thing is, you know, I just feel sorry for some of them. But she needs to be smacked. You could tell the parents in the tribe who discipline their children because they have so much respect in the way they carry themselves. You can tell when they walk in the room how they treat elders, how they talk, and how they behave. You know the ones who parents are there in their lives. But a lot of women give birth to children, and that's all they do is give birth to them. They're not parents to them. You understand? And then the ones that grow up and be unruly and disrespectful, you know, they need to be, you know, how you called it? Shunned away, kicked out the house. You understand? Nobody in my family, the way I was raised, no one in my family could talk to an adult like that, or talk about an adult like that, or be in somebody else's business. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem with members of this tribe, especially with the women. They refuse to groom their children. They're lazy. You understand? And Baba said they let their children, they let the devil take their children. That's the problem. You understand? Y'all let them loose, and y'all let the devil destroy your freaking children. Knowing that they're different. And what happens? They get possessed, they get attacked by these spiritual forces that you don't see. Like when you see a person walking down the street talking to themselves, and they stink, and they got all these clothes all over them, and they got bags all over them, and walking stuff. Those are spirits attacking those people. They're spiritually bound by these beings from the lower realm. If you don't protect yourself through prayer, through living right, and trying to walk upright, you will get attacked by these beings. This brother Taharaka Bey, Buzz Light, sitting up there with a baseball cap on his head. You have no culture awareness. All your hair shaved off your face. You look crazy. You're not doing anything for. Listen, like I said, if you don't have land, you don't have property, you don't have a language, you're not doing anything for your people, you can't claim that you're doing anything. Y'all, all that conscious community stuff is a bunch of crap. Y'all are full of it, man. You're not doing anything for anybody until you get some land. Until you get your, like the Jewish community, they got their own schools, they got their own school buses, they have their own temples, they have their own language that they speak, they have their own diet, they have their own stores, they have their own dress code. If you don't have any of that, you are nobody. You're nothing but a punk behind a screen talking at a desk with flags behind you like you're so deep. You're not deep, brother, unless you're doing something for your people as a whole. Because y'all talk all that conscious community. Y'all the worst niggas anybody ever want to run into. Y'all will talk that crap on the internet, but if you get locked up, we'll see how much of a man you are behind bars. Because y'all talk all that crap as free men behind the internet. But behind bars, you turn into a wuss. That's when you see who the real man is. Tired of this crap, man, with this internet stuff with y'all listening to this freaking crazy, pissy Umma York. You know what I'm saying? A Dow Matrix. Go do what you do. Tell your man to step his money up. In fact, the brother that she's sleeping with, that she's with, that she had that daughter with, that was somebody else's husband. He was with the sister, what's her name? Kirk Amun's daughter, who lived in Rochdale Village in Queens. That wasn't even his. She took that brother from that girl. That's what she did. Her sister's the same way. They're disgusting, man. And guess what? Just because they're Dr. York's children, so what, man? Let's call it what it is. Let's call the white rice, okay? They're full of it. So I just wanted to come live and mention this to y'all, you know? So, yeah, there's another brother, Peter King. There's another brother that I wanted to mention to you in London. He's a seamstress. I don't remember his name. He's a black devil, too. He sews clothes. I don't want to get into what he did, but he's an evil-ass brother. And he has a picture with him with his black and gold jacket on. He has a picture of the master teacher behind him. You know, he's another one. And like I said, he sews. And there's another man who robbed a boxer. There's a boxer in London who told me that he got hit in his head so many times. He was a professional boxer, and he suffers from a disability. He can't really talk like he, you know, it messes with his forgot what you call that part of the language. He can't express himself clearly, and his thoughts, it takes him a while to get his thoughts together from being hit in his head. And he received a large settlement, I think close to $500,000. And one of the, I think it is, I'm not sure, but I truly think it's that OSM brother that stole that money from him, because if that OSM brother is from Nigeria and his wife, they took that young man's money and went to Africa with it and said they were going to pay him back, and they never paid him his money back, you know? And so I said, they told me this, and I said, okay, but I'm not in London. What do y'all want me to do? And, you know, the thing is, I can't. I've done this before in the past. Tell Baba stuff about personal things that happens, like stuff like that. And it's like, I'm in prison. What can I do, Taba Jet? And I'm locked up, you know? So I never mentioned it to the master teacher, but I told him I would bring it up. But then when I spoke to Baba, I don't know, the conversation didn't go there, and it would have been awkward for me to even bring that up. But it's a lot of black devils everywhere. They're all over the tribe. They're not just in London. They're in Trinidad. They're in Jamaica. You know, they're in Barbados. They're everywhere. You know, they're in Grenada. They're in the West Coast, the East Coast. Everywhere where there's Sabians, there's somebody representing the devil. That's just how it is, you know. And only thing I could tell y'all is to just stay away from them, you know. So anyway, I just wanted to bring this to the light, y'all. I've been up doing my laundry, and I'm getting some things together, and I'm staying positive, and I want you all to stay positive, and I want you all to know that I'm not the enemy, you know. I'm just not liked by many, and I'm not here to be liked, okay? I'm here to speak the truth because unlike, I'm not going to be going to sleep with a conscience, knowing that I could have done something to make changes to help people, other people stay away from evil people that come in the name of Wusabat, because they always using our name, our logos. They always using tweeds. They always come with our culture, and they dress just like us, and they work for they have a spiritual pact with the devil. All right. So anyway, I don't want to talk no more about that. I said about the candles for everybody that they could light them on at 9 because that's one of our powerful numbers. You could light the candle at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. when you get your candle. And everybody should have it. I got mine. I got 2 that came. So I got my candles, y'all. I hope you all do the same thing so we can do this for the master teacher. And hopefully we'll see some changes. Ain't hopefully, we will, you know. So I'm gonna hang up. I just wanted to expose Umma York and those of you who was raising money for her. Now you know. You hear her talking about Baba like a dog. I mean, I don't like to say that like a dog, but slandering the master teacher's name, you know, being disrespectful. So that's it, y'all. I gotta go. Let me see if there's anybody that's saying anything, dog. Y'all had a lot of people to delete, huh? Faith, Rahubat Faith, Jerry Fisher, New York. My boy Abdul know him well. Yeah, the brother Abdul. She was saying that that's supposed to be like an uncle to her. And let me tell you something. I'm glad I brought that up. Listen to this. Let me say something to you all. Umma York's mother left, just like many of us left the doctrine, left the tribe, and went out in the world. So whatever happened to you then, your mother is responsible for that if you were a child. But at the age of 9 years old, and I'm not saying this in a way where a perverted person will think, but at the age of 9, that is when you begin to become judged. That is when you begin to be judged. Because at that age, you know right from wrong. So any age between 8 and down, they're innocent. 9 and up, the choices that you make, don't get me wrong, I understand being in being in a foster home, and well, I don't understand because I was never in a foster home, but I've been in a group home before. I've been in situations, okay? And like I said, everybody got a story to tell. You keep going back in time, and it's like you're trying to blame your father and blame the tribe for your present condition because you want that building. When things don't go right for you and things aren't right in your life, all you keep thinking about is my father's a multi-millionaire, and I'm sitting here living like this. My father's, and the thing is this, your father is the leader of the Nuwaubian nation. Your father has thousands of lives in his hands. Okay? He has a responsibility, and your mother should have told you that. But evidently, you know, y'all didn't have no respect for your own mother because I never seen a child put their mother in the street. All right? She didn't have nowhere to turn to. And your brother, who y'all call Moody Mahmoud, and your mother lived in my house. And if you don't know me, you better ask your brother about me. Okay? Because he lived in Athens. He lived in my house. Ask him about me. I'm really about that action. All right? You're being disrespectful, and you need to be slapped in your mouth. All right? For how you're talking and behaving because things are not going your way. Stop lying to that man, Taharka, talking about your father's a child molester. He never touched any child. He was set up by Jacob York, and he knows it too. Y'all stop listening to them whispering demons from the lower realm that's using you weak-minded niggas to go up against a great man. You're going to find yourself in a horrible place. All right? With that, I'm going. Wadu.